Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Come On With the Games podcast, your official home for hip hop entertainment, local and world news. You heard me? Mhm, mhm. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm black. I meant to say I'm back. And as a matter of fact, I am black. You heard me? So I'm back and I'm black and I'm ready to attack. Well, yet another episode, man. Episode 14. I know I've been on a little slight hiatus, but I don't know if you can see it. I got a little better camera. You know what I'm saying? So my close up is looking immaculate. You know what I'm saying? And spectacular. You understand? I'm feeling like Dracula. Yeah, 'cause I might suck on your bitch neck after this motherfucking podcast episode. Round of applause for that. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, without any further ado, let's get into this podcast of today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. In today's hip hop entertainment news, I meant to say hip hop news. Lord, I gotta get my bearings back. You heard me? I gotta get my bearings back. But in today's hip hop news, talk to me, Turk. Oh man, Turk is back in the news, man. And in a recent interview, um, he said that he would be open to going on Still 400 Degrees podcast. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, he gets invited, you heard me? He would be open to sit down with Juvie and, you know what I'm saying, um, putting everything on the table, for lack of better words. You heard me? Getting everything out. You know, Turk is good at airing shit out. You heard? Mm. That's what you do. He good at that. However, you know, Juvie always, you know, repeat on the podcast in his words. Man, we're gonna keep it positive. We're gonna keep it positive. So I don't even know if that'll be a good idea or be a good look. Or I don't even know if that's something that will be warranted or even wanted by Juve and Manning because it might bring a negative cloud negative conversation to a platform that otherwise have positive conversations and try to keep the negativity, if not at zero, to a bare minimum, if that. You know what I'm saying? However, if he does go on there, will y'all be tuning in? I know I will. I'm here for it. I want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? I think it would definitely make for good content. However, I don't know what that conversation will be like, man, because, you know, these are two strong headed, uh, strongly opinionated men that come from uptown New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? And if you know anything about men that come from uptown New Orleans, we don't like backing down. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even in a plethora of things that we like to do. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no backing down. So that might definitely be an explosive conversation, but one that needs to be had, and I think it's one that needs to be had mostly off camera than it does on camera, because there have been some things that has been said that I don't know, man. I just don't see motherfuckers really coming back from. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that's been put out there, you know what I mean, between Turk and Jewel, you know what I'm saying, and B with BG in the mix that I just, man, I think it's grown men. Everybody need to go to their, not only go to their mutual corners, but they need to stay there and stay in their own lane. And what you call this shit just dead. That hot boy shit. That hot boy shit dead. Yeah, it's always fun to go down memory lane. It's always for nostalgia's sake a beautiful thing to hear the old music and to see the former camaraderie that was once shared and exhibited by the hot boys is always a great thing to see. But however, I don't even know if people want to see it anymore, man. I don't know if we here for that. You know, even if they was to do um another what you call it. You heard me, another verses here in New Orleans. I still don't think it would have the same sting on it because of all the antics, you know what I'm saying, surrounding the situations with the hot boys, mainly with Turk, PG, and Juvie, you know. And I don't know, man. I don't think that'll be a good idea, Turk. You know what I'm saying? And even if it's a good idea, I don't think that Juvie will see that it's a good idea. You might have some with Manny. You know what I'm saying? You might definitely have some with Manny that you can, you know what I mean, maybe finagle stuff, think of stuff about for you to maybe get on there, still 400 degrees, and you know, podcast and have a talk. But I just don't see it happening now, man. But who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? And more hip hop news, though. Speaking of the hot boys, Bodied by Brooke. That's right, Bodied by Brooke, the serial entrepreneur, the first lady of Chopper City. You heard me? BG significant other made an appearance on Terror Gangsta Williams podcast. You heard me? And he interviewed her, and it was a cool interview. You know what I'm saying? You know, nothing to do backflips over. You know what I mean? But it was definitely a cool interview. It was very insightful. And I like what they got, man. You know what I'm saying? I like that, you know, they're giving each other the support that each other needs. I like the fact that they're sharing spotlights and whether people may feel like, you know what I mean, she's showing too much of her face or not. You know, my woman could never show too much of her face. You know what I'm saying? My woman could never be around me too much. You know what I'm saying? And then when she is, y'all gonna have something to say about that too. So, you know, forget the haters. You know what I'm saying? For the congratulators and the simple spectators, you know, I just want to say that I think it's a good look. You know what I mean? To have a woman by your side, you heard me, helping you, pushing you forward, representing you, you representing her, and sharing platforms, and either even not sharing platforms because, you know, BG never. Well, I ain't gonna never say never, but I don't think he'll never. But he pretty much a never uh go on any platform and share that bitch with gangster. Cause we all know why. That ain't how he rock. That ain't the code that he stand on. BG going by the old law where we don't even take no pictures with rats, let alone have conversations with them and go on podcasts and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. That's a no no. You know, we definitely don't get interviewed by them because that's like an interrogation. They working with the police. Why would I answer questions from a rat when I know he works with the police? That's like answering the questions of a policeman. You know what I'm saying? At least in the eyes of BG. You're dead. You're dead. I can't speak for him, but I'm more than sure that that's where he at with it. However, you know, his significant other did go on the platform, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, it was good, man. It was definitely insightful on the things that she have going on how she came up, you know what I'm saying, on how, you know what I mean, she had her trials and tribulations, on how she became a convicted felon. And, you know, Gangster just makes the motherfucking conversation all that more interesting. You know, he always said the shit that, you know what I'm saying, that we want to hear. You know what I mean? You know, he definitely asks a lot of questions about BG. Yeah. I laugh because if you know gangsters, then you know that was some interesting questions being asked. You heard me. However, my question about the whole gangster body by Brooke interview uh, was this okay with BG? I mean, it had to be right. You know what I'm saying? Because I know my girl ain't got to go through no interview with no nigga I don't really fuck with no more. Not because of reasons of shit that he did me. You know what I'm saying? But some shit that he did. And you know this, and you know how I'm rocking, you know what side of the field I'm standing on, and you still go do the interview anyway. I can't see that. So she had to run it by him, which means that he had to be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? So do y'all think BG okay this interview with Terrence Gangster Williams and Body by Brooke? You did? Do y'all think so? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments right now. You heard me? Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and tap that notification button. But also, don't forget to let me know in the comments what you think, man. Was this interview okay by BG, man? Was he okay with this at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? There's a million platforms she could have went got on, you know, and there's a lot of things she could have talked about, but she went on this platform with Tara Gangsta Williams and specifically talked about BG. So I just want to know, you know what I mean? Y'all think that was cool? You know what I mean? How does that look? You know, how's the aesthetic of that? You know what I mean? You going on a podcast of a nigga I don't rock with, but you fuck with him. I don't know. You fuck with somebody I don't fuck with. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, you know, playing devil's advocate. That's something that popped in my head. And I want to know what y'all think. So let me know in the comments. You heard me? Let me know in the comments. And also, another thing that was said on that podcast was that, you know, and BG, my sinus is messing with me, y'all. Y'all forgive me, you hear me? My sinus is messing with me. You know, I ain't a pollen, it's allergy season. I'm fucked up right now. But I'm here for y'all. And another thing I want to know while I'm here with y'all is she said that, you know, her and BG, of course, is going to get married. You understand me and do the do. But she said that Boosie is an ordained minister, you heard me? And, you know, she want, you know what I'm saying, the shit to be not only an intimate setting, I mean, not only an intimate wedding, but she wants it to be extravagant too. She wants to have family and friends as well as strangers. You know what I'm saying? She wants to sell tickets and do it real big. And one of the main attractions that she wants to have there is Boosie, you know what I'm saying, officiating the wedding. You know what I mean? Which I don't think is a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I think it's phenomenal. If one of my friends is an ordained minister, I would let them officiate my wedding. You know what I'm saying? Uh, However, Turk is an ordained minister too. You heard me. I said Turk is an ordained minister too. So is this a jab at Turk? Is this like, you know what I mean, yet another strike at him, a low blow? Like, fuck you, nigga, even though you're an ordained minister, we're going to get Boo Pop to do it. You know what I'm saying? Even though you were supposed to be in the brotherhood that I came up with, you know what I mean, a history that can't be unwritten, a bond that, you know, may be broken, but was once tighter than ever. If anything, you supposed to be doing it. You know what I mean? So imagine how Turk feels knowing or hearing that if BG get married, that Bupac gonna officiate the wedding, knowing that he got his motherfucking marriage, you know, license and he can do this shit too. That's gotta hurt, right? I don't know, man. That's gotta hurt, man. You know, do y'all think that was a shot? You know, I think that was a shot. Yeah, I think it was a low blow. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it was. But y'all let me know in the comments. Don't forget to let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button. And let me know, do you think that was yet another low blow, you know, from BG and Bodied by Brooke to Turk saying that they're gonna let Bupac officiate the wedding, knowing that, you know, that's something Turk be doing and that's something that he's proud of. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, they are brothers. Turk and BG are brothers. So y'all let me know, man. Was that a shot? You heard me? Let me know that. And also, let me know if y'all think BG okay this motherfucking interview between, you know, her and Terrence Gangsta Williams, which is a dope interview, by the way, man. Y'all go check it out. A round of applause for that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, then more hip hop group, Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty. Ladies and gentlemen, Pooh Shiesty got picked up by the feds for allegedly robbing Gucci Mane. That's right, he robbed them, and the whole premise behind the circumstance you heard me was basically he wanted out of his contract, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he wanted out of his contract. It's claims that since he been in jail, that Gucci made it like $24 million allegedly, you know, off of his music, and that, you know, his people ain't getting no money from that. And since he been in jail, he ain't really got no money from that. So, you know, he come out running and gunning. You heard me. One of the things that he gun and run into was Gucci Mane. You know what I mean? That's right. Him and his people ran up on Gucci Man, ran down on him. You hear me? Unscrewed the boy. Earrings out his ear. Oh man, it was a shakedown. It was a whole shakedown. It was a quick yeah, yeah, straight jug. You hear me? Or as they like to say in New York, they juked them. They juked the homie. You know what I'm saying? They juked them and they got him good. However, this is my thing. Do you think that he's gonna let you out of your contract now? That you robbed him? I know I wouldn't. You hear me? You wore out of your contract so bad that you were gonna rob me. Guys all over the world. You hear me, man? No, man, boy, I'm about to hold my nuts on you so hard that when I drop them, the world gonna shake. You understand? Yeah, hey, just to ag you, cause you know what I'm saying? You agged me, you brought this problem to me, and that's crazy, man. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All I do know is, man, you the one to sign the contract. You the one sign the contract. And my thing about this with artists that be disgruntled was the contract be good enough for you to sign in the beginning, but all of a sudden you won't be butthurt about how the contract in the end. I don't understand that. It's the same contract. The same contract that you mad about right now was the same contract that you hate Gucci Man about right now. It's the same contract that you praised him for at one time. So where along the line did the contract become a bad contract? That's what I be trying to figure out. You heard me? I think, nigga be taking the upfront bag, you hear me? And don't realize what the money gonna make and don't realize that their agreement is for now and in perpetuity. So you gotta in contracts you gotta watch words like perpetuity because perpetuity means forever, nigga. You understand? It means forever. So I bet that for now it's a perpetuity. He got that boy shit unless he let him go. And Gucci has a good a track record of letting people go. However, ain't none of these people ever robbed him. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of these people ever uh, took it to this extent when they was upset about something. You feel me? And if there was, I'm sure there was better ways that they could have handled it and better ways that they did handle it. However, this is blown up and this is out and it ain't going nowhere. Especially for Pooh Shiesty, who was, you know what I'm saying, who got locked up, you heard me, behind this. And they say Gucci, however, ain't, cooperating, man. He say keep it in the street and he better because that's what he said he was going to do. So you got to stand on business. You heard me? You got to do what you said you was going to do and keep it in the street. But this is crazy, man. I don't like this for either side. This is crazy, and this is not the way you do business. You know what I'm saying? There's in the streets, and then there's the industry. You can't take what's in the street to the industry. You can't do that. They don't mix. They just don't. I don't know why. Many have tried, but they all have failed. You understand? They do not mix. What happens is these corporate people get scared of you. They don't want to book you. They think you're a liability. They think you're a potential problem, and nobody wants a headache at the end of the day, no matter what kind of high it may have gave them the day before. You understand? Nobody wants that. You know what I'm saying? For people that do, they eventually learn and they don't want that no more. So I don't know, man. Was bad business being done? Was bad business being done? Or is niggas realizing that their potential was worth much more? And somebody saw that in them, invested it, and now that they're getting a return on their investment, the person who was invested in thinking they should be getting a piece of that too. But why would you get a piece of that when it wasn't even your money to flip? I'm flipping my money. And now that I done flipped it so good, you mad? I don't know, man. Yeah, and that's why also as CEOs, you gotta watch these artists that you signing. You know what I'm saying? It's all cool in front of games, you heard me. When you feeding that pit and then that pit bite you, that shit ain't cool. Mm-hmm. But I well. And more hip hop news. Young Thug, ladies and gentlemen, Young Thug runs up on Charleston White, him and Lil Baby. That's right. Him and Lil Baby ran down on Charleston White on a set of coulda excuse me. Yeah, could have been love, you know what I'm saying? The reunion or whatever, which White was booked for, and that could have been love reunion, Young Thug and Lil Baby stepped to Charleston White with a little message. You heard me? And Young Thug said to Charleston White, he stepped on shit. Yeah, I got what you see. I'm trying to do my best, Young Thug, boy. He said, that's what basically Charleston White was asking. He was like, nigga, what? He didn't hear you. He said, we step on shit. You know what I'm saying? And made a threat. You know what I mean? To Charleston White. And Charleston White had this to say: do it. Do it. That's right. He told them do it. And of course they didn't do nothing, but at the same time, why would we even play with Charleston White like that, man? Not saying that he's somebody you should be scared of, but at the same time, he's somebody you should fear, especially when you're on 20 years of probation. You should not be out here making threats when you on 20 years of probation. You are specifically on 20 years of probation for Fulton County. In Fulton County, if you make a threat to anybody and somebody is a witness to you making that threat, or somebody has a device that captures you saying that and therefore is a visible witness to that threat is now called terroristic threats and acts. It is a felony, and it is a felony that holds weight. You know how I know? Because I got charged with that felony, terroristic threats and acts, and it is a felony that holds weight. I did time for this in Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. So I know this shit ain't no game. You know what I mean? And Young Thug seems like he's still out here playing with his freedom. That is, I ain't gonna lie, man. Either he's real fucking hard, or he's real fucking stupid, and I'm not gonna say he's that hard. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy to me. You know what I mean? It's beyond me. One motherfucking thing about Georgia, them bitches showed me. You heard me? They showed me. I didn't need 20 years of motherfucking probation. You heard me? Them bitches gave me a 10 through 2. I did 2 and I did 8 on probation, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And thank the Lord, I made it. Lord Jesus, they showed me and they don't never have to show me again. But some niggas need to be showed. Yeah, man. Some niggas need to be showed. I got partners that went around once, went around twice, and when I was on my first, they was on their third. It's just like that. I don't know why, but that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? There was things in my life where I had to be shown not once, not twice, but 3 times, maybe even 4 or 5. You know what I mean? Before I finally got it and saw the light, and like, this ain't what's up. You heard me? But clearly, Thug think it's what's up. But I tell you what, he got the right one with Charles and White, you heard me? And he better watch how he moving before, he fuck around and make the wrong move. That's just my opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. And 9 times out of 10, they all stink. You hear me? But anyway, in more entertainment news, Jafar Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, Jafar Jackson, the son of Jermaine Jackson, the nephew of Michael Jackson, who plays Michael in a new biop that's coming out, you heard me, in theaters on April 24th, and it's called Michael. He made an appearance on Jimmy Fallon, you heard me, to discuss the movie, that's coming out in April, you heard me, later this month. And I, like a million other people, I'm here for it. You heard me? I can't wait to see it despite the reported thoughts and reaction of Michael's sister and Jermaine's sister as well, you heard me, and Jafar's aunt, Janet Jackson. Her thoughts and her feelings about the movie has been reported, and that she allegedly doesn't like it. She don't like nothing about it. The makeup, the choreography, some of the events and situations that took place, she doesn't agree with. But despite that, I don't I think it's getting enough good press as well. You know what I'm saying? As much as it's getting bad, I think it's getting good. And in the world of entertainment, all press is good press. You know what I mean? It's creating a conversation to where people are gonna want to go see it and judge it for themselves. And no matter what they feel like afterwards, they go and see it. You heard me? So, oh man, I think it's about to be another whole wave of Michael Jackson craze. You know what I mean? And whoever got a hold of that estate is about to make money like Mike was still out here going on tour. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be crazy. But like I said, Jermaine Jackson's son, Jafar Jackson, is playing it. And this is I love it. It's black nepotism at its finest. You heard me? Is that right? Is that fair? Hell yeah. Well, white people get the job all the time because of who their daddy is. You know what I'm saying? Who their uncle is, who their cousin. You heard me? Why not us? You know what I mean? Because all I got to say is that they don't care about us. So we got to care for each other. So this is black nepotism at its finest, man. And I'm here for it no matter what Janet thinks. You heard me? On a lighter note, you heard me? Nia Long is set to play Catherine Jackson. And oh man, she looks beautiful, man. She looks beautiful as ever. And I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to review it and talk about it right here on Come On With The Games podcast, your official home for hip hop entertainment, local and world news. Let's give a round of applause for that. Mm-hmm. In today's world news, local and world news, that is, U.S. commandos rescued a downed airman, you heard me, in the daring raid inside Iran. You heard me? Iran claims that they shot the F-50 down, the F-50 craft, but U.S. claims and are a little bit different, and they beg to differ, but who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? All I know is them boys at war. I say them boys at war. I say them niggas from down the boys at war. I say, yeah, man, they going at it, man, and they going at it hard, despite uh, Donald Trump's claims that they are backing down, that they saw the signs, opened up their eyes, and they saw the signs, and they're sorry and all this. Despite that, it looked like they still on full attack. You heard me, and it looked like we gonna be in Iran, and according to news reported, they man down and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to see that footage of that fucking fighter jet trying to get away. You heard me? And that missile caught up to that motherfucker. Oh man, it was crazy. It was crazy, man. And you saw the dude eject, you know what I'm saying, from the plane. You know what I mean? Thank God, the U.S. troop ejected, got away. Now here was the thing with that. You know what I'm saying? The CIA was spreading false information in Iran. You know what I mean? Through operatives. Saying that they got a hold of the air, the fighter pilot, saying that they rescued them before they actually got them, just to throw Iran off and to kind of make them, stop looking for them a bit before they even found the dude. You know what I'm saying? So man, they playing all kind of war games out there. It's all kind of big games, all kind of games being played. But one thing for sure, and two things for certain. At the end of the day, it ain't no game. And in this in this atrocity that's going on with this war, Trump issues a profane threat and attempts to get Iran to back off and open the straits of Hormuz, or however you pronounce it, Hormuz. You heard me basically saying that if they don't, open it up, they will be living in hell. He's gonna rain down hell upon them and fire and brimstone like they've never seen before. However, at one time he was saying that, we were gonna open it up, the U.S. And then at another time he was saying other countries are gonna open it up. It almost reminds me of his empty promises about the wall being built and who was going to pay for it, saying that the Mexicans were going to pay for the wall. This person, then the U.S. wound up paying for the wall. Us, American citizens. So this is typical Donald Trump fashion. This is typical Donald Trump playbook, play by play, step by step, and he ain't doing nothing that he ain't already been doing. So you know, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Which one is it? You know, Are we gonna open it up, or are we putting pressure on them to open it up? Because right now we putting pressure on them to open it up, and it don't look like we gonna stop. You heard me? So that's what the run narrative that he's running with. Nah, like it ain't us, it's them. You hear me? As always. You feel me? So I don't know, man. I don't know. The one thing that I do know is with Donald Trump, you never know.
Argue with your mom.
In this segment, ladies and gentlemen, is my favorite segment. This segment is a little segment called Argue with Your Mom. You heard me. You heard me. And in this segment, Argue with Your Mom, is basically where we play this little game where I say, hey man, I think, that Michael Biop is gonna be dope. I think it's gonna really, what I'm saying, shine some light on, what I mean, Mike's life, and I think it's gonna be fine. And you be like, man, argue with your mom. I don't think it's gonna be good. I agree with Janet. He look kind of stupid. He don't look like Mike. It ain't gonna be right. They ain't gonna really get down to the nitty gritty in the cases that he was in. Argue with your mom. I think it's gonna be shitty. You see what I'm saying? Go a little something like that. So in this, that's right, this segment of argue with your mom. I think I want to touch on a subject that clips are surfacing. You heard me, of this female who gets on stage at a Chris Brown concert and basically makes out with him on stage, ladies and gentlemen. Which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. A woman having fun at a Chris Brown concert, especially with Chris Brown. There's nothing wrong with that. However, the only thing, I mean, just one little thing that I did see wrong was that she was married. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And not only was she married, her husband was there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Her husband was there in the crowd watching his wife not get tongued down by Chris Brown, but try to tongue down Chris Brown. You understand? That is crazy. Now here's the crazy part. You know what I mean? And here's what I want you to argue with your mom about. You heard me chew on this for a few ticks. She said, the wife said that her husband was in the crowd and nothing was wrong with this. And basically, she was not cheating. It was just her getting carried away. She said she just got carried away. That was all. Yeah, yeah. That's what she passed it off as. Just being carried away. Man, I don't know about y'all, but argue with your mom, that's cheating. And if my bitch was to ever do that, you heard me? I'm gonna get carried away. I'm gonna get carried away by 1,200 cops, three security people. You heard me? I'm gonna get carried away by 12 jurors. After that, I'm gonna act a fool in court, so I'm gonna get carried away by six pallbearers. Man, yeah, I'm gonna get carried away. I know what people saying. You should just carry yourself away in divorce and all that. No, man, you don't know who my daddy is. I'm gonna get carried away. You hear me? Is you crazy? That is cheating. That is not getting carried away. That is cheating. So, ladies, argue with your mom. That wasn't just a harmless little. Yeah, because see, who is she trying to see? I see. If I see my wife, bitch, you ain't do that to me. We even the tongue be in the mouth, not out the mouth. That's how we do. You, oh no, no, oh, you did it. Now you gonna get it. Argue with your mom. That is not getting carried away. That is cheating. You heard me? And for whoever don't disagree, you can argue with your mom. Write in the comments. Let me know. Was that just a harmless getting carried away that she did on the stage with Chris Brown? Or was that cheating? I think it was fucking cheating. If you don't think it was cheating, argue with your mom for doing it in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tap the motherfucking notifications. You heard me? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I look better. You know what I mean? I got a better camera. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. And I'm ready to do good on another motherfucking episode of Come On With the Games, man. And this has been another episode. I hope y'all enjoyed it like I enjoyed it. And, man, I'll see you on episode 15 next motherfucking week. Until then, peace.